Good morning. Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw-Doering, and today we have a little bit of a Gentel short, and then we're going to take your questions and possibly some thoughts over coffee, if I get any. I usually have plenty in the morning, but maybe not enough to fill a whole show. I see that lots of people here today. Good morning, everyone. I see some new people, new names. Awesome. Good morning. I want to thank everybody for joining me who's new here, who found me from somewhere. People usually comment that, when they find me, they're like, I don't know how I found you, but it worked out pretty good. So, could be a reason for that. All right, so let's do some review. This week in the Gentel is just a cute little name that we call the information that I receive in meditation from God, Jesus, and the archangels. If you're new to me, I keep everything God-centered. I've learned to listen. I go into meditation. I teach other people to do so. And I ask the questions and I give you what I get. Wrong or right, it is what it is. So this week in the Gentel, the gist of it, and if you would like to see that, I did a show on last Tuesday, the 13th, and you go to this channel, Jennifer Fallaw-Doering on YouTube, and get the whole rundown of that. It is also posted on Telegram. Let's see if we have a banner for that. Pretty sure we do. Bink, there it is. I'm on Telegram. That is where I spend most of my time on social media. I'm still on Facebook, but for a while there, the truthers were like, Facebook won't let us do anything. So we came over to Telegram. I also have a philosophy chat connected to my philosophy channel on Telegram. And then I also have a channel for Jennifer Fallaw-Doering. And the Jennifer Fallaw-Doering channel is basically a clean feed, no comments, no anything, of the shows that I do and the information that I get, the Gentel. And so you could go to Jennifer Fallaw-Doering on philosophy and watch back or read back for that information. Monday, we were speaking with Archangel Haniel, and to me, is the angel of hope and joy. And he said bonds were taking longer than expected. The RV is happening, but they need the bonds to be funded because it raises the currency rates, or in some way gives us the funding that we need to get the notifications, move on to Tier 4B. And this is about the currency revaluation, reset, and the beginning of Nasara Jasara. They need to pull these bonds out of circulation, and it then funds the next step. Really condensed that a lot because I don't want to keep doing the same show over and over, but a little bit of review. They had problems funding the bondholders because of electronic transfers, and not because of the system that they're using to transfer it, but because of other ways that the bad guys can interfere with that, like cutting power, causing problems, things like that, delays. Most transfers have been published, and I believe that's a word that the angels use, so we're going to stick with it. And the process is underway. Somehow these bonds fund the global reset economy, and once all is said and published privately, we're on our way. Wednesday on Real News Live with Mike Barra on Rumble, before that, and that was shared quite a bit on Telegram. The Gentel short was contractors have been paid, and the exchange process can begin. So this was really, I think, about the people who work in the exchange centers, the banks, the people that are going to be doing the work. So, like if you contract, I get back to comments. So if you contract, well, let's do this right, Jen. Jeez. I need somebody over here to do this for me. Um, you contract with the government to do a job. Let's say a construction job, whatever. Or, okay, so they're going to say, okay, you got the contract. We'll let you know when it begins. We'll let you know when we're going to fund it. And so you can pay your employees and you can buy materials and you can do all this stuff, get the job going. If you bring a contractor into your home, they're going to bid a job. They're going to ask you for half up front. Most of them do. So that they cover expenses, salaries, everything, wages, get the job done, and then they'll come to you at the end for the rest. So they must have some kind of deal with the Treasury that, okay, after we get through a certain point in the bonds and we bring enough money in, we're going to have the money to pay your redemption exchange center employees. Then we're going to maybe it's like you'll make the rest of your money on the percentage that you get above the rates that you give the people. So, and what I got before is that they want to give you a certain rate because they get a percentage or above what they give you. They turn it into the Treasury. Treasury pays them that for the currency and bonds, and then the Treasury will turn around and get a higher rate when they, as country to country, when they turn it in. Okay, so here we are now. This morning I asked, I'm going fast because I don't have a lot of time today. Okay, this morning I asked, you got anything for me today, Archangel Gabriel, God's messenger? And if anybody doesn't think Archangel Gabriel is good, he is the one who went to Mary, the Annunciation, and told her she would have a son. So I don't learn a little more about that. Good guy. Okay. This is Gentel Short for 5/16/24. I got this morning, expect notifications early next week. Oh, puzzle piece. In between that, on 5/14, I kept getting Munich. I was mispronouncing it, but it was Munich. Was asking for more time for bonds, and the Alliance said, you got 1 or 2 days. First it was no, and that was, you got 1 to 2 days tops. We don't have time for your more time. So somebody was trying to delay it over there in the bond arena, and they got a little more time, but that's why it pushed it off, and now we're into probably, as it said, expect notifications early this next week. So what's going on with the exchange and redemption centers now is that since they've received word that they have funding to proceed, they're calling all their teams in. And so they're doing last minute training and assembling of teams, I heard. So, if you've got people on hold all this time and you're bringing them in and out and they've had their training and stuff, well, then it's like, okay, we're going to go. Come back in here. Let's do test runs. Let's make sure we don't have any bugs. Let's make sure everything's cool. Everybody remembers their training. And then, they are expecting a raid Monday, and that would be probably Iraq. I didn't hear where it was, but I heard expecting a raid Monday. If and when that goes out, they will release info to book an appointment. I believe that it is numbers or some kind of link that you go to find a number, like put in your zip code, a location in your area, and when you call, it will route you to that area, and then you speak with somebody to schedule an appointment. I'm sure it will be safe. I mean, everybody has a lot of anxiety about, well, what if I talk to some dude on the phone and it's a scam? Well, you find out when you get there. I mean, doubt it. Doubt it. Seriously. And there will be. They have already thought about security and protection and things like that when you go to these places. They've had plenty of time to figure this all out. So I wouldn't worry about that. But I have not gotten any negative information. This is not going. I have not gotten any. I mean, the bond thing is really rolling. I think I don't know if they're going to get to a place where they're completely done with that, but I think they have to get to a place where they pull enough in to get enough funding to start the process. Okay. And that is for the RV. That's our RV news for the day. So this weekend, I heard when we got the contractors have been paying, the exchange process can begin, that we would get confirmation of that late this week. So into the weekend. So keep your ears and eyes open for that confirmation. Of course, it's not going to be probably mainstream. I mean, I think this whole thing has to be done behind the scenes. For security purposes. And I was asking today, do they have to post a rate in country in Iraq to start this? And I did get a yes. At first, I got a no, and I was, yeah. So when you get a yes and then you get a no and you go back and forth, I don't know. Okay. It's best to go with your first answer, because when you start second guess this stuff, that's when you get it wrong. That's when you get it wrong. That's when your brain gets in the way. Okay. So that's the Gentel for today. And let's get with your questions. Let's hold off on the personal questions right now, and let's see if we can answer any questions about this or about what's going on in the world. The only thoughts over coffee I really had today was, does this look like an normal election cycle to you? No, it does not look like a normal election cycle to me. Remember back in, well, people are asking their questions. We'll just talk about this. Remember back when we were leading up to 2020? I remember that's when I just started the Mike's show, Real News Live on Rumble. I just started getting into all of this. And I was watching Fox News and I was watching the whole ordeal, and it was so, God, just exhausting leading up to election. I was thinking, oh, yay, this election's going to be over. I can't wait till it's over so that we don't have to hear all this negativity and all this fighting and all this crap, because I hate fighting. And then it happened and it was stolen, and we're all, oh my God, it's not over. But do you remember the campaigning and I mean, even Trump, I mean, at this point in time, he was doing like two or three events a day. Granted, I'm not paying attention to the mainstream media like I used to. Just pisses me off. I can't even watch it, So it's like but it just doesn't seem normal to me. I feel like there's not a whole lot of concern by either candidate to be a winner. I mean, of course, Trump is always doing something to ensure that, but everybody's just waiting to vote for Trump anyway. I mean, maybe that's it. But it just kind of seems like it's all in the bag, or it's not really a normal election cycle. Any thoughts on that you have you could share? All right, here we go. Glasses so I can read it. There is also something going on in Cuba with people not being able to get bank money out of ATMs and things like that. I really feel like that is being forecast worse than it is for some reason. Maybe it's just allowing people to have cash on hand, but I'm not sure. I just feel like something's off with that report. I'm just looking. The delay in me reading these things is me trying to focus in and see it. So I'm gonna have to put it on the screen when I find something. All right, okay, dumb question. I love dumb questions. Maybe a dumb question, but if we have Zim bonds, why are we not considered these bondholders that are being paid? I had that question too before, and I was thinking, well, they must have like a lot of it, and they went in to be considered in a different tier than us. I mean, if you have truckloads of the things, you're going to go in early or you're going to contact somebody early and say, hey, let's set this up. So I don't really know the answer to that question. I can only speculate. Let me ask. I do think it is. He's saying that's pretty accurate. That it's the amount of bonds that you hold. Um, yeah. Somehow these people got in early with somebody and got some kind of special deal. Because think about it, if they need to pull these in to fund the rest of it, which doesn't make sense to me, really. I'm not that knowledgeable about it. You have to talk to somebody who's like a guru. Um, but if they need to pull them in, they're going to go out and find, they're going to do it country first. They're going to do groups. They're going to do people with large amounts of these things. Okay? Pull that in first. Then they'll get all the scragglers. They'll say, okay, well, and to us, we're like, well, I've got like, I don't know, 50 of these things, whatever it may be. But to them, it's really not big. So that's the only way I can answer that question. All right. Ooh, that just jumped. Hang on. Don't want to miss anybody. I can't answer them all, but I'll just hit what I can. You have always seen Grassley coming forward and explaining things after B is taken out. Any idea on a time frame? Joanne, you always want to know when. That one's a hard one. And depends on many other things happening before that. It does have to happen at some point, I believe, before we go to gold. So somewhere between the exchange and going to gold, they're going to do that. I think the dollar's being propped up right now. They're messing around with numbers, moving things around, and they're trying to prop it up just enough so it doesn't completely crash and go in the toilet, because we do need a value on the dollar in order to do this. And it's not just, people are like, well, why would government and countries do anything for us? They're not. They're making money. They're funding the future. They're pulling it all in. They're making as much as they can, and then they're going to flip over to gold. I always saw that Joe Biden would be removed for trying to start a world war. And at the time, a couple years ago, that made that sound completely ridiculous. Doesn't seem so ridiculous now. So, for trying to, or when he tries to start a world war, he's going to pull something. Okay? If that's the game plan they're still going with. This whole operation moves and shifts according to what's coming over the horizon. But the main goal is to capture the flag, take the evil cabal that has ruled our world's power away. And what is their power? Money. That's why this is so important. So you do all you want, take people in and out, there will always be another. That they have been allowed to control the world for too long through money. And if you don't take their money, you'll never win. Jesus told me that. Okay. How are we doing on time? Okay, good. We're good. I don't really know when this is going to happen. When I take a look at it, for me, when I take a look at it energetically, big empath, energy reader, you take a look at the situation, you tune into the situation, you got, as of this moment in time, I'll see like a 2-second video in my mind. Then you have to translate what you see. And then you ask questions about why am I seeing this? What happened before? What happens after? Okay? So it's not an exact science. All right? But sometimes, like for individual people, I'm really accurate. Why? Because there's not that many hands in it. Okay? But when you've got all these people and all these countries and all these moving parts and, bad guys coming in and all this, it starts to get really confusing. And then you get to a point where you're just like, I don't know. I don't know. And that's what has been so frustrating about this entire operation. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Mom passed away. Gracie. Has she visited? Let's ask Michael. 4 times visibly. Somebody saw something. Yeah. She either flickered the lights, she moved something, something was out of place, somebody felt something. So there was 4 times. She'd been in and out more than that. But 4 times since then, when she did something to let you know she was there. Very common. So when somebody passes away and they do cross over, but they can come back and forth because spirit moves at the speed of thought. So when you think of them, it's almost like a phone ringing in their ear. They feel it. Somebody's thinking of me. And so when they think of you, they're there. And in the beginning, it's really hard they start to acclimate to the other side. The vibration raises quickly after they die, but it continues to do so for a while. So for the first 6 months or so, it's really easy for them to flicker the lights, to move things around, to mess with the TV. They come in dreams. They can always do that, but that's a whole nother story, trying to hold your attention long enough to get a message to you in a dream. But that's the whole thing. The most important thing to know about the soul is that we create with thought. Thought is everything. We move at the speed of thought. Love never dies. Many, many times I've done mediumship readings for people with their loved ones who pass away, and there's nothing more healing than that. I don't care what you think of it. To talk to them again. But many times it's as if no time has passed. And it could be years, and they still feel the same about you. Well, the price of silver hold. I am not a financial advisor, blah, blah, blah. Do what you want with your money. All right, let's look. I feel like it's going to go up to 32 and it's going to come back down. So, no, we're still fluctuating. Something with that still fluctuating. Like I said, right now they're messing around with all the numbers all over the place. If anything gets too close to crashing the dollar right now, they're going to fake some numbers here or there to make sure that it holds out for a little longer. We have to have value. We have to have some value to do this. And why is this so important? It's not just for currency holders, not just for bond holders. It's the beginning of Nasara Jasara. Now, they will not call it that. They'll probably call it BRICS, and they'll split it up, and they'll call it this and that, but it's basically the same idea, okay? Same things are going to be happening. Wow, Jen, somebody's at the back door last night? I don't feel like that was somebody on drugs or it was somebody like messing around. I just feel like I get like a migrant. I don't know where you are, but somebody was looking for something. They were trying to get, well, it feels a little dangerous to me. So, yeah, keep up on that. Put the dogs outside. Let them do their job. What? Some of you guys are talking about stuff in there. All right. I heard there'd be a delay of the spending ability after the RV, and if so, how do we go about buying a house immediately? Listen, so this is what I got. So you go in there, and they're going to calculate everything that you have in fiat because it is the recognized currency right now. And I think they have to do that. Then they're going to put it over into a treasury backed account, either in the treasury or with a big bank. And that's why we need the big banks. That's why I don't believe all the banks are going to fail. We have to have them. Who's going to hold your money? So I believe the first thing they did was go in to the banks, make the deals, say this is what we're going to do, pull people out, put people in, get them all set up for this transition early on. Number one important thing to do. I don't think the same people own the banks anymore. I mean, they may be using the same names, but I kind of think those bad guys are gone. So when you go into the appointment, what I've got personally over here, little old me, mom, talking to the angels and Jesus and stuff, I got that you're going to go in there. They're going to give you the fiat dollars. They're going to say, okay, these are your rates. This is what you get. We're going to put it in this account that is backed by the Treasury. And because it is backed by the Treasury at this point in time, we're going to put real money in there. And that's going to be in U.S. notes. The reason they pair up with a contract with big banks, and now this old Gentel contractors have been paid. It might not just be redemption centers, it might be big banks, okay? So contract with the big banks, and they will say the treasury has, and the big bank will say, well, what we can do, depending on the size of your exchange or redemption, they will say, we can give you 1 to 5% advance or loan or whatever it looks like. That is not taxed because it is a loan. Okay? Technically. But I do not believe it's a loan that you pay payments on. Okay? It's just kind of like, we'll advance you this much. Maybe you pay a fee for that. Who cares? I'd be like, yep, here's your fee. Have a wonderful, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you'll work off that money until such time as the United States goes through their redemption process, which I believe is 90 days. Because think about it, the reserve currency of the world is everywhere. And so it's not just a redemption process inside our country, it's everywhere. That's going to take a while. Okay? I believe you'll sign some kind of NDA because at that point in time, if they give you fiat dollars and they put it in the treasury account in notes, you will know what the exchange rate is. They don't want you telling people that. I'm hoping and I think that they will give you some kind of estimate. Like they can't say, okay, we'll give you this money. And you're like, well, how long do I make this last? And they're like, I don't know. 20 years. Like how long are we talking? Like months? Are we talking? So you may know when we're going to gold as well. So that may be why everybody has to be quiet. Now, the delay in spending monies from the advance, I think there's a typical 2 to 3 days just to verify everything with the treasury, with your funds, with your exchange, make sure everything's on the up and up and good. They receive their money from the treasury. They approval that this is a legitimate account with the treasury. Yes, this is good. This is an asset. We'll loan you your advance. There you go. Funds available 2-3 days. That's what I got. What a lovely question. I love questions like that. You know why? Because we're going to go into an exercise. Let's go back to thoughts over coffee. And I'm going to teach you something. Okay? I learned this recently. I don't know why it took so many years for me to learn this, but I asked actually through all of this trial and tribulation that we've gone through, people start to get run down, and I was starting to get run down. And I was feeling kind of off, starting to get a little negative. It's getting a little negative. And just like physically feeling like I'm dragging. Because usually I work from home. I'm talking to you, I'm answering questions, I've got everything scheduled out the whole day long, and at the same time, I'm picking up the house. Okay? Because I can do like mindless things like putting things away and not even think about it. But for a while there, I was just sitting and doing the readings. I'm like, my God, why are you only doing one thing at a time? So I went to Archangel Michael and I said, can you blast me? Can you do something? Because I just need a little something. I feel like my vibration is falling. And he said, I said, so I brought the light in. God's like, God, send me your light. I brought it in. And this light is intelligent. You have to tell it what to do. Okay. And so I said, Michael, what do I say? And he looked at me, like, but Archangel Michael looks just dead in the eye with those piercing blue eyes and says something. You do it. Okay. And he said, rise. And I was like, rise. And then I'm like, how do I do that? And then he gave me this picture. And in my mind, I see these molecules, like, of the light, of my vibration, as if it was molecules of water that start moving really, 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 really fast right before it boils. So this is what you want to do. So you want to get those, you want to imagine them vibrating faster and faster and faster when you say rise. So, exercise to raise your personal vibration. We should all be doing this. probably daily right now, because it's kind of, this is like, I don't know, we're living through the dark ages. It's hard. Okay? It's hard. All right. So this is what you do. We want to keep everything God-centered always. Why? Well, why would you use anything less? Why would you communicate with anything lower? And once you start doing that, you will know and go with the most high and the highest of vibration. You will know the difference between anything else you encounter by vibrational level. That's a whole nother class. Anyway, so this is the exercise for the day to raise our personal vibration. Very simple. I keep everything very simple. God, send me your light. Now, I want you to imagine. Dark side does not want you to imagine, and they have programmed you not to do so. Okay, why? Because it is the beginning of creation. And we are all pieces of God having an experience. Pretty much him as you right now. You and God on a journey. God, send me your light. I want you to picture this beam of light coming down through the top of your head. I don't know why it's through the top of your head. Just do it. Top of your head into the center, probably where your stomach is, of your body. God, send me your light. Picture it coming down. We're going to imagine this light fills us up till we're just bursting with it, okay? Now, God's light is the element of creation. It is the element that houses all others. It is intelligent and more intelligent than any computer and anything that you would ever encounter forevermore. We're going to tell it what to do. I'm glowing again. Hang on. I do this thing where I glow. Just kidding. It's the stupid computer. I gotta get another. So, God, send me a light. Bring it down into your body, right to that stomach area. We're gonna we're gonna imagine that we're just full till bursting, and then we're going to say, well, let's do it this way. Imagine that you can see the molecules of this light that's in you and how fast they're moving. Okay? Then say, rise. Okay? And then I want you to picture like as if the water molecules are moving really fast before boil. They're vibrating faster and faster and faster and faster. And then I want you to say, stay. Thank you, God. Very simple thing that you can do. It has worked for me. Natural side effect is it's going to kick out all the negative energy that you're holding on to right now. When you put that in, it's like a bug zapper. It's going to cast it out. It's going to help you heal better. It's probably going to clear out your chakras and your energy centers in your body so that everything flows better. It's all good all the way around, God-centered. Do it. And that is how you can, day by day, work on raising the personal vibration when you're feeling low. I should have a banner that says like classes or something. Oh, speaking of classes. Wait, let's get the other banner. Susan, when you get better, you should really produce these shows for me, because Susan Gretz and I had Beacon of Light Radio for a very long time, and we produced for each other and we produced for everybody else and do all these talk shows and stuff. And now we don't do that anymore. And so we're all doing it by ourselves. And I talk too much to think about banners. Okay. At jenniferfallaw.com, which is my website, you can get readings from me. You can get healings. Now, I want you to know, for the healings, those are all suggested donations. If somebody needs a healing and you're thinking, oh, I can't afford it, and, my poor child, animal, whatever. No. Email me anyway. Throw me a tip when you can. Okay? I used to do everything for free, but then I got to a place in my life where I wanted to spend all my time doing this. Well, got to charge. Still got to feed the family. Still got to keep going, right? That's why we charge. But they're all suggested donations. Readings, you don't have to have a reading, okay? But if you have to have a healing, I will do it for free. You know, please don't send me like 800 emails asking for free healings. I'm just saying, like if it's a serious situation. But do you know, I can't do like last minute emergency healings in the middle of the night. Somebody's on their deathbed or something. If they're on their deathbed, it's probably too late. Okay. The body has to have enough energy to heal. But getting to me early, like with somebody with cancer, if we could do that monthly, yeah, real good track record with that. Very interesting stuff. I am not the healer. God and Jesus, they're the healers. I'm just a girl that goes into meditation, calls them in, can see and hear and move that light, and I ask for it. So a long time ago, when I figured out I could do this, I went back into meditation and I talked to Jesus and I said, I don't know how, and I don't know why, but if this is what you want me to do, I will do it. Just teach me. And he has. He's been at every healing ever since. And that's why I know that when you bring this light down into your body, you have to tell the light what to do. God-centered conscious creation is the beginning. This is the beginning of what I will teach. And that's what Jesus told me. I said, okay, put the light in there. What do I do now? He's like, tell the body what to do. Like, okay. So at jenniferfallaw.com right now, if you would like to learn how to do what I do, I did a series of videos a couple years ago. Mike Beer's in there. But I did a series of videos a couple years ago, and it starts out with there are 3 psychic development classes that really just explain how subtle that you're receiving your divine guidance and messages right now. It's just very subtle. It's not like the movies where you get blackout and you got some big vision, hearing voices outside of yourself. I don't do that. That would scare the crap out of me. I'd be in the same time, but yeah, there's really something wrong with me. Yeah, we got to figure this out. It's not like that. It's your voice in your head. It's pictures that look like memories. You really have to take a look at your perspective. It's a projection of consciousness, and you think it's a memory, but your perspective of of whatever you saw is different from the actual memory. The first 3 psychic development classes explain that. What it looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like for a regular everyday person. And you'll start to see, oh yeah, most divine guidance is very subtle and dismissed. The next 6 classes are interdimensional meditation. It's like walking into a dream. You can go into meditation and see and hear and talk just like a dream. It's a light meditation. Doesn't have the same clarity as a dream because you're not asleep. You're still aware of your surroundings, sitting on the bed or in the chair or whatever it is. But it teaches you how to have that close, personal, deeper connection with God, Jesus, and an ability to go and talk to those loved ones and pets that have passed away anytime you want to. And that's why I started it, pretty much. Well, it kind of all hit me by accident. But that was the goal in my mind at the time. Is like, if I only just had a phone that I could pick up to talk to my late husband when those kids were little. If I only just had that phone. And I think that's why it opened up for me. So I did these classes. I need to redo them all so they're more professional, okay? But the info is there. I don't offer them all the time. Usually I offer them in a package deal where I can have that would come along with 1-hour coaching sessions with me, either bi-weekly or once a month. And those people come to me and I walk them through the whole training program. But this is not, it just depends on what you want to do. I mean, some people want to do it professionally, some people just want a closer connection, but it is always and always will be and always has been developing your deep, close, personal soul connection with your Father and his helpers. And so it's actually a deep form of prayer. Churches have meditation rooms. What do they ask you to do in there? Go sit with Jesus. Same thing. So I just pick it apart to show you, to help you do that, and to peel away all the layers of programming that the dark side is cast upon you, so that you won't do that. So they don't like me, but I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. If you would like these classes, Jen's little infomercial. If you would like these classes, I'm offering them right now for way less than half price. You go to jenniferfallaw.com, and I don't like complicated. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to subscribe to anything. You don't have any weird logins or stuff we're going to forget. I hate that. Basically, I got the videos. You purchase the videos. I send them to you via email through WeTransfer. You download them. You now own them. You can do whatever you want. Watch them at your leisure. There it is. Simple. Done. If you want to add in coaching sessions later, email me and ask me about that. I only take on a few students a year. Well, like 25 students a year. But I will, for people that are serious about really advancing with their intuitiveness, I'll do that. One thing that's great, some of these meditation classes, one is self-healing. So you can go into your own healing room with God, Jesus, and the archangels present and do healings on yourself, your family members, and your pets. Another one is mediumship. You can go and sit in a chair and talk to anybody that's passed away. In a safe pool, Jesus and the archangels there, and it's all safe and everything. You're in heaven. I send everybody to heaven. I don't send anybody anywhere else, because I am absolutely aware that there are other dimensions and everything is real somewhere. Why? Because we create with thought. That's the number one mystery of the universe. So how is all this stuff here? Well, it's created with thought. God's thought through you. Or negative thought. Positive thought creates, negative thought destroys. I'm not going to teach everybody everything right now. Running out of time. Let's get back to the questions. Go to jenniferfallaw.com. Oh, and I have to tell you, I did a Saturday deal because I started to get a little nervous, all right, about the economy. Everything was slow, all right? I'm not going to lie to you. That's what happened. So now I'm doing Saturday readings. Just this Saturday, I'm going to test it out. So I did a $49 sale, and then I was going to pull it down, and then GoDaddy won't let me back in to take it down. So this Saturday's full. Because I didn't want to do the whole day. But this Saturday's full. The deal's still up there. You can get it. If you do purchase it, it's going to be for not this next weekend, but the next weekend after that. Or I'll do an after hours reading for you. They're 15 minutes for $49. Or I can give you gift cards to use for a Saturday at a later date. Okay? So that deal is up too. jenniferfallaw.com. All right, let's Lee is having pain in lower extremities. Can you talk to Jesus about that, Lee? A lot of that is tension, okay? But it is affecting the circulation going to the feet. All right? So we want to you probably need magnesium. I know I sound like everybody that knows me, I'm a magnesium poster child, because people are not getting enough of it, and it is a problem. Okay? So what's happening is I see tissues pushing against blood vessels that are narrowing the blood flow down to the lower extremity. So work on circulation, work on reducing tension in those areas, starting at the lower back down. I am a medical intuitives disclaimer. Any information that I get is for you to take to your doctor so they can find the root of the problem and help you better. Okay? Send me pictures. And then I need, when you send me an email, the email is on my website. Send me pictures. I need a picture of the individual, person or pet. If it's a pet, first name, of course, but I need your real name so that I can. So it's the way energetic connection works with me. It's like I get your real name, zoom, I got you. Stepping stones. And so if you come to me and say, okay, my daughter's friend is ill, can you take a look? Okay, I need your real name. So I start with you, stepping stone. What's your daughter's name? Move over to the daughter, stepping stone, energetically. And then I get the friend's name. Now I'm at the friend. That's just how I do it. So that's why. A picture, especially if I can get to the eyes, doesn't matter how old it is an energetic address. So if I don't have a picture, I want a full name. But email me that and I'll put them on the healing list. I do have a healing list. I'm usually about 2 weeks out on that because I take serious cases and I move them ahead. I do that. Okay. All right. I have to pay my son's tuition. Do you see me having to borrow money from my sister? By when? Oh, it doesn't matter. Let me just ask. No. No. Mm-mm. It just depends on when you're going to pay that. But I don't get a loan from the sister. I'm not feeling that. I feel like you take care of it yourself. And it felt good. It felt like a happy take care of it myself thing. Son has an interview tomorrow, needs it so bad. Will he get Connie? Okay, so here we go. Energetic stepping stones. Connie, son, and what's happening with the job. Yes. That's when you guys see me looking out. That's what I'm doing. Okay, everybody's just talking. Oh my goodness, I have 2 minutes until somebody calls me. Let's talk to whoever's calling me. It is Courtney. Give me a second. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining me here today. Wait a minute. Get rid of that. Go over here. Get rid of that. Wish I had more time. Mama's working it over here to make ends meet with this economy. I just went to Costco, by the way. Nothing special. All right, okay. I got a couple rugs. I probably shouldn't have gotten. I got the new frying pan for like $20. But you know what? I work hard and I can have the frying pan for $20. $580. And and they rang it up, and I I wasn't keeping track very very much, and I was like, and then we left, and my husband, I'm like, that hurt. That freaking hurt. It did. I don't know how these young people are eating. They're probably eating the worst crap that you can probably get at the 99-cent store, and that is sad. Something needs to change, and it needs to happen now. I've never seen anything like it. All right, I love you all. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday on Real News Live with Mike Vera on Rumble.